Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Tavares from the Tompkins Chamber, and we are excited this week to feature Ithaca Children's Garden as our Member of the Week. I have with me Erin Martiel, who's the Executive Director of the Children's Garden. And the reason why we chose the Children's Garden this week is because you've been doing some really unique things and partnering with Cornell University to try to provide engagement and fun activities for children during this really difficult and strange time that we're all experiencing. So I was hoping you could tell me more about that.
Great. Thank you so much for having us and for recognizing Ithaca Children's Garden in this way. It's a real honor for the team, especially those who work behind the scenes. So thank you so much. So you might know that mid-March, Ithaca Children's Garden made the difficult decision to close temporarily while we kind of assessed where things stood and how we could reopen safely. And then pretty quickly it became clear that it would be a while before we would be able to reopen the gates. And as a public space that serves 70,000 visitors a year, a 3-acre public garden that's always free and always open every day of the year, shifting gears felt really challenging. But we really wanted to make sure that we were addressing what the most pressing needs were of the community during this really tough time. So as so many things happen that are successful, a lot of activity and energy went into partnerships and cultivating partnerships. And we were able to connect with the Frank Lab at Cornell University, who is also in a similar situation of closing their labs temporarily. And they had energy and time and passion and weren't able to put that into their typical work. And so together with the Frank Lab, the Children's Garden was able to create hundreds of science kits that include a vegetable seedling and a seed kit that were then, with a partnership with the Ithaca City School District, went out to all of the children who receive free and reduced lunch in the district. So that was about 700 students. And that all together is part of a program called Community Grows that is an aspect of what we're doing that is trying to bring plants and connection to nature to children and families in classrooms while people are kind of stuck inside or have been stuck inside.
Well, that's really wonderful. And I know that that's been meaningful to a lot of families in the area. How do you think that you might need to continue with some of these different types of programming moving forward? What are your thoughts about accessing the Children's Garden, or when that is going to be available again to the community?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have been working really hard to plan our reopening. The exact date is still TBD, but we are considering all of the different facets of what it will take to reopen. So we're kind of splitting our energy right now between planning a safe reopening for the community. We've been hearing from so many children and families that they miss the garden terribly and they're really eager to get back in there. But we also understand that it's a pretty small enclosed 3 acres for the many people who do use it. So we want to make sure we have the right protocols in place. And it's especially challenging with our audience of children, young children, to be able to safely enforce and compassionately enforce the guidelines of wearing masks and other challenges of physical distancing in public spaces. So in the meantime, so we're working on that on the one hand. On the other hand, we are really looking at this chance that we all have to kind of be separated and be creative. We're looking at it as a way to figure out how we can better serve the community using maybe different tools than we've used in the past. I will say it's really challenging being an organization that has a mission to really get kids connected to nature. And we do that through our physical space and through our educational programming. We have been working hard through the partnerships I just mentioned, and also through putting all of our, or not all, but a lot of our curriculum online so that families and teachers can locate that and utilize that even from home. We're figuring out how to take that material and keep it going as we recognize that people will kind of come back into the public fold on their own timelines in different ways. And we want to make sure that we're supporting families and classrooms to do that when they're ready.
That all sounds really wonderful. And my last question is, I know, that just like many other nonprofit organizations in the community, this is a really challenging time. You're trying to figure out how to serve your constituents, how to keep your organization running, how to support your employees, and how to serve the community. That's what all of us do, right? But my question is, if somebody wanted to support the Children's Garden, or if the community wanted to give back to you in some way, is there a way for them to do that, or where would you direct them?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Thanks for asking it. We are very happy to have any support. Of course, it takes a lot of resources to create the content and continue operating and maintaining the garden even while it's closed. And then, of course, getting it reopened again will take some energy and resources. Anyone can make a gift through our website at ithacachildrensgarden.org. There's a giving form there. We are also going to be participating in Giving is Gorgeous on May 20th. So we encourage you to look for Ithaca Children's Garden there as well. One of the activities that I didn't mention was that we are growing food. We have a 6,000 square foot kitchen garden. So in the absence of our spring programming, and then with a big question mark over our summer programming, we decided to press that kitchen garden into service to be able to feed as many people as possible. And we're planning to supply the Friendship Donations Network with the produce that comes out of the kitchen garden. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But yes, we would be very happy for any support. And
once again, our member of the week is Ithaca Children's Garden.